What is up, car addicts? In this video, we'll be talking about this week's Triple Money Event Week, as well as the property and vehicle discounts. This event week is for September 30th through October 6th, 2021. The current prize ride for this week is the Emperor Vector. To get this car for free, you have to place top 3 in 7 pursuit races, so pretty easy. You can literally just do that with a friend and let each other win 7 times. But anyways, this car is primarily based on the 2021 Lexus RCF, and is one of the fastest vehicles for track performance in the tuner subclass, up there with the Calico GTF and the Sultan RS Classic as well. It has a normal price of about $1.8 million and a trade price of about $1.3 million. So essentially, a free $1 million DLC car that just came out about a month ago is honestly pretty cool. Now, in terms of test drive vehicles for this week, we have the Dominator ASP, the Annis Euros, and the Jester RR. Now, in terms of the Casino Podium vehicle, we have the Rebla GTS. Now, this vehicle is primarily based on the 4th generation BMW X5. It has a normal price of just under $1.2 million, which is pretty insane. Now, it's in the SUVs class, of course, and is a pretty nice one to customize and drive, but it's just way off the pace of the much cheaper and faster Tauros in terms of performance. So, is the Rebla GTS worth attempting to win by spinning the lucky wheel over and over this week? Well, considering how much it normally costs, I think it's worth it if you want a good-looking performance SUV, but just remember that it's not the fastest. So, starting off with the property discounts, we have 25% off the upgrades and renovations for the auto shops, but not the auto shops themselves. So, I don't understand what's going on there, why only the upgrades and renovations, but another questionable decision from Rockstar. But anyways, I guess if for some reason you wanted to change the look of your auto shop a bit with the upgrades, now you can do that at a cheaper price. Moving on to vehicle discounts, we have 30% off the Euros. Now, this car is of course from the Tuners DLC and has great customization, but unfortunately it's not too great in tuner races for performance or sports car races either. But again, it's still a pretty cool car to customize and drive. But at almost $1 million, I think it's still a lot to pay for this car, especially if you were already able to get it from one of the previous prize rides. Next up, we have 30% off the Comet. Not a very expensive car to begin with. This is honestly a pretty good purchase if you're on a budget and want to get a nice Porsche-inspired car. Moving on to the Southern San Andreas website, we have 40% off the Yuga Classic. Now, this is an older and classy looking van, and this of course has the livery most people use to create the mystery machine, which is pretty cool. So I guess if you always wanted to do that, now you can for a much better price. Moving on to the Bennies discounts, we have 50% off the hydraulics upgrades for the Bennies lowriders, which is pretty cool. In terms of vehicles, we have the Yuga Classic 4x4 custom conversion cost, which is 40% off, bringing it to $772,000. It is by far the most customizable van in game and is a ton of fun to mess around with. Moving along, the Mañana custom conversion cost upgrade is 30% off, bringing it to $647,000. To be honest, this one doesn't really have much customization other than the usual lowrider options that we're used to, so I really wouldn't worry about this one too much, but I guess if you have like a lowrider collection or something, this of course is a great addition. Next up, we have 30% off the Italia GTB, which is in the supercar class. Now, this car isn't all that great in terms of performance. It's around mid-pack for the supercar class, which really isn't too great. Now, the custom conversion cost for this one is also 30% off, which brings it to $346,000, and of course gives you the awesome Bennies level of customization, higher straight line speed, but unfortunately it makes it handle worse than the normal version, so keep that in mind. Next up, the custom conversion cost to convert the Comet into the Comet Retro Custom is 30% off, bringing it to $451,000, which honestly is not too bad of a deal for how much customization this car has. Next up, we have 30% off the Faction. Now, this car is in the muscle car class and the performance isn't all that great, and the regular one basically has no visual customization. Now, the custom donk conversion for this car is on sale at $486,000. Now, I've personally never been a fan of the Faction donk, but I know some people are. In terms of triple money, we have triple money NRP on normal land races, which is pretty cool. The payouts for these are usually pretty awful, so this will definitely help. Next up, we have triple money NRP on Lamar contact missions. Now, these don't normally pay out too well, but with triple money, I think it makes it a bit more worth your time, and I think it's still a great way for players who are new to the game that don't really have any businesses to make some good, decent money. In terms of double money, we have double money NRP on the time trial for this week, so pretty nice. You'll get about 200,000 instead of the usual 100,000. And lastly, we have double money NRP on the offense-defense adversary mode, a pretty fun one to do with friends, but definitely not my favorite. Moving on to the Prime Gaming discounts for Prime Gaming members only. I will leave instructions in the pinned comment on how to become a Prime Gaming member if you aren't one already. So we have the same ones as last week, which is 65% off the Lampadati Casco. Now this car again, in the Sports Classics class, isn't really all that quick and basically has no visual customization. There's definitely much better classic cars in the game. Next up, we have 35% off the RT3000 from the Tuners DLC, obviously based on the Honda S2000, a very cool car with great customization, but in terms of performance, it's not that great in the sports class or even in the Tuners class, so keep that in mind. Also remember guys, you're just vlogging this week as a Prime Gaming member, you'll get a free 100,000, which is pretty cool. Again guys, if you don't see a discount on the vehicles, I mention this because you don't have your Prime Gaming account linked to your social club. Again, all the information on how to do that is down below in the pinned comment. And lastly, well, of course, the RC Bandito time trial La Fuente Blanca. This week's normal time trial, which again is paying out double money this week, is Calafia Way. I highly recommend either the Hakachu Drag, Shotaro, or a Batty 801 for that time trial. And this week's premium race is the Sports Classics Race 8-figure bonus. I highly recommend either the Cheetah Classic, Turismo Classic, Rapid GT Classic, or a Retinue Mark II for that race. Every Friday I post a guide on how to easily beat the time trials and premium race, so stay tuned for that if you're new. Anyways guys, hope this was helpful. Overall, this event week is pretty decent. It's definitely themed around Bennies and lowriders, which is pretty interesting. And the triple and double money is pretty good with some decent variety, but no double money businesses this week, sadly. Also, Rockstar has removed and added some more jobs back in, so sea races are gone temporarily and parachuting modes as well. However, they did add some adversary modes back, so very interesting. I'm not sure why Rockstar keeps doing this. Supposedly they're trying to make room for some more new content, but it seems like they're just playing with these for different event weeks. Really strange. But anyways guys, hopefully we get a better event week next week with hopefully a business on double money. Thanks for watching guys, and I'll see you in the next one.